Littlebigplanet has more than 20 level kits as DLC, but have you ever wondered which ones were the best? Now I say were because sadly all of them have been delisted. Well, almost all of them, because some of them are still available, and you can even get them for free. Stay tuned to find that out. This is my ranking of all the DLC level kits, from the worst to the absolute best. Let's dive into it. At the last place as the worst DLC ever regarding level kits comes History Pack. Honestly, I don't know many people that enjoy history. I mean, most people fall asleep during learning sessions, so I don't know what made them think that this was a great idea. Still though, I enjoy history, mostly, and I still think this DLC is hot garbage. It's just like a gallery type of level that just gives you prizes. There is no plot, no story, and it's overall very boring. The only good thing are the prizes and the materials and stickers it gives you. But even those aren't enough to save it from being the absolute worst. Coming up next is yet another galleries type of level, and yeah, as you might have guessed, I am not a fan of this level kits. It's the Monster Pack. I remember buying this one and being so incredibly disappointed by it. The level is so boring that it makes you sleep. Maybe because I played it on Littlebigplanet 3 and not in the first game, but the visuals were bland, and the level was kinda broken because the music didn't work. Still though, even in the first game I think this level is trash. The prizes are nice though if you were into creepy stuff. At number 20 is the Creator Pack from Littlebigplanet 1. It was great for what it was, it had everything it needed to have, and as a creating tutorial it did its work real nice. Still though very underwhelming compared to the other ones on this list. At number 19 is the Turbo Pack from Littlebigplanet PSP. The only level kit for the PSP game, this one is surprisingly great. It featured lots of cool stuff and the levels were actually pretty creative and good. I love the visuals and the prizes are a great extension of materials for players to use on Create Mode. It is great for what it is, but incomparable with the base game DLCs, if you know what I mean. At number 18 we have one DLC that could have been exponentially better but instead was undermined by being a Littlebigplanet 1 DLC, and also by being yet another gallery full of prizes type of level. Is the Incredibles level kit. On the bright side, it's the best out of all the gallery level DLCs. The best part are the visuals and the fact that you get to see lots of iconic places from the movies. It has great stuff for creators and it really shines on being good on this part. The lack of story and characters though make it very disappointing, and for the players that don't create much, it is a lackluster. At number 17 is one DLC that is lesser known and one that you can actually get for free, even though it's unavailable. It's the Marvel Arcade Pack for Littlebigplanet PS Vita. It's honestly a great DLC with lots of cool stuff in it. It featured 3 new arcade mini games, such as the Hero Rush, which is basically Jetpack Joyride with Marvel characters, Shield Interceptor, and the Avengers Ultimate Escape. My favorite one is Shield Interceptor because I always found it very satisfying. Now, as for the purchasing part, if you have a jailbroken PS Vita, which is honestly pretty easy to do if you don't have one, you can install the DLC from the PKGJ app. And not only that, but you can buy all the DLCs from the store for the PS Vita game. The only thing that holds this pack down is that I'm not a big fan of the arcade mode in PS Vita. Overall though, it does its job pretty well. At number 16 is yet another Marvel pack. It's the original one. It might be because I liked Marvel a lot when I was younger and I might be biased, but I always loved this DLC. Part of me always made me think that it would have been one of the best DLCs if it were for Littlebigplanet 3. But oh well. The amount of stuff this pack has is incredible. It has amazing stickers, objects and decorations. And the best part about this one is that it features more than 6 levels and that it has a story. Now if you are wondering why is this low on the list, is because from now on all the DLCs on the list are peak. Coming up next at number 15 is the Tiki Paradise level kit from Littlebigplanet 3. This level has no story or plot, but the amount of eye candy it has is just amazing. The level has incredible visuals, great gameplay and it features great music. The prizes are also on a different level as it features some of the best stuff for creators. Overall, the only downside is that it's not as good as the others. Coming up at just the 14th place is one DLC that might stir a lot of controversy among you. It's Metal Gear Solid Pack. It's not that it's bad, and believe me, it was revolutionary for the time it was, but it's just not my cup of tea. The colors are very neutral and the visuals are not that impressive. Still though, the inclusion of the Paintinator and the logic introduced in this level kit is to this day the one that opened the way for the Creatinator power-up in Littlebigplanet 2. It introduced a new hazard besides the power-up, which was the plasma. Overall, it's great, but still not the best from the first game. At number 13 we have the Toy Story level kit from Littlebigplanet 2. It has some amazing levels, and the way the DLC is organized is simply great. The goodies are great, and the characters are very well made. I love the costumes and the entire aesthetic of the levels. The soundtrack is great, and everything included in this pack is everything a Toy Story fan could ever want from a game such as Littlebigplanet. Up next is Adventure Time from Littlebigplanet 3. This DLC captures the vibes of the series perfectly. It has cartoony visuals, great music, and overall a solid level. The one critic I have is that it's just too short and not so organized. Next is one of the best DLCs regarding the materials it gives you. It's actually a remake from a scrap DLC that was supposedly going to be made for Littlebigplanet 1. If you haven't guessed it yet, it's Seaside Surprise level kit. It has some of my go-to materials for Create mode, and it features some of the best prizes of the entire DLCs. The level is pretty nice and it feels very warm and summery, if that's even a word. But yeah, overall I was so glad I bought this DLC. It did not disappoint and did everything it had to do to make me like it as much as I do. Next is another choice that might be controversial. Buckle up for a night before Christmas like no other. It's the Nightmare Before Christmas level kit. The scenery for this level is simply almost like the real thing. Now, if you didn't know, there is an exact copy of this for Littlebigplanet Vita, so for that purpose I'll be listing both at the same spot. Anyways, the cage material and the stone bricks materials always made for amazing community levels, so for that reason alone this level kit is simply great. The creepiness is a bit too much at times, but overall, even though I'm not a supporter of this type of media, I still think it did its job pretty well. Next is the DC Comics Premium Level Pack. Now, before you get mad at me, I'm talking about the PS Vita version because they are vastly different. The Vita one is completely separate and all the levels, even though inspired from the base game, are completely different. The levels have a more comic book style type of visuals, which I was not a big fan while playing it, but you have to admit the levels are very challenging and have great gameplay. Plus, the prizes are always a nice touch. It's the best PS Vita DLC, that's all I'm going to say. Next is the past and future rolled into one. It's Back to the Future level kit. This one has hands down one of the best power-ups ever invented in Littlebigplanet. The hoverboard is one of the best additions to this DLC, as it offers cool mechanics and gameplay. The prizes are always top tier and the level design and the charming visuals make this one a must play. The level is pretty fun and the characters that make appearances are really good. Outside of that, not much else to say about this one. Coming up next is the best DLC from Littlebigplanet 1. Get your swords ready and dive into the ocean with Pirates of the Caribbean level kit. This is hands down one of the best out there and one of the most timeless Littlebigplanet DLCs. It introduced water before it became a real thing in the later games, and the levels and gimmicks this pack had were wonderful. I love the visuals, the boss fight is nice, and overall it features lots of cool stuff for Create mode. Still, the best thing to ever come from this pack is definitely the music. It's Chef's Kiss. And just outside the top 5 we have the Muppets Pack. Man, do this level have some incredible design. The cozy warm plushy feel the levels gives you are the best. The characters are very well done and the introduction of the attractive gel material and logic made for some amazing gameplay. It is very light-hearted and goofy and definitely made for a very fun time, worth the money back when it was still available. I'm still sad I never got to play it. The materials are spectacular and the soundtracks are always a banger. Overall, a perfect crossover between Littlebigplanet and the Muppets IP. We are officially at the top 5, and at number 5 we have the Crosscontroller Pack for Littlebigplanet 2. This was definitely one of the most revolutionary packs ever for Littlebigplanet, and definitely is the longest one by far. It has incredible levels and gameplay, and the idea of including the PS Vita to make it even more interesting was amazing. The amount of good prizes it gives you is insane. The levels look extremely good and the story is just great. The only thing that holds it down is that even though interesting, the inclusion of the PS Vita made this one a hard one to play, because if you did not have one, then it's just unplayable. It's a shame they made the appeal of this pack so small, as it had great potential. Still though, glad they made the sci-fi pack for players that did not have Vitas. At number 4 is yet another revolutionary pack undermined by the inclusion of yet another PlayStation tool, is the Move Pack. Generally the best story by far out of all the DLCs, this one changed the community levels forever. It introduced the motion controller logic, and the amount of great stuff it offered made for amazing creations. The levels in themselves were absolute bangers, and the story features one of the best villains of Littlebigplanet. The Cakeling was a great addition to this level kit, and the boss fight was simply put nothing short but amazing. The gameplay and the new power-up it introduced made you feel like a telekinesis superhero. The sticker panel material also was gun-baking at the time. If there wasn't a need for the motion controller, this pack might have been even the best. Coming up at the top 3 best DLCs is Cue the Music, SpongeBob SquarePants DLC. This level kit has some of the best levels, and it captures the SpongeBob magic better than the official games. It is super fun to play, has lots of iconic stuff, and introduced the water material. Hands down one of the best materials ever. It allowed players to float in it. It was brilliant, it changed the community forever. Everything else is just so well made that it blows you away. Overall deserving of this spot. And at second place, losing to DC Comics, is what I like to call Sumo Digital's love letter to Littlebigplanet, The Journey Home. This level kit consisted only in 3 main levels and 3 mini games, but even though not as long, this is nostalgia at its finest. Sumo Digital took beloved worlds from the previous Littlebigplanet games and made them even better. And the best part is that it serves as a direct mini sequel to Littlebigplanet 3, as it follows the events of Littlebigplanet after Bankam is saved. It honestly has some of the best levels ever, and the garden level hits hard. It introduced lots of new stuff and even a power up for Otto, which is by the way the only character besides Sackboy to have a power up. Overall it feels like a celebration of Littlebigplanet, and for that sole reason it is ranked this high. Yep, as you might have guessed, the best DLC from every Littlebigplanet game is the DC Comics Premium level kit. Man, is this pack filled with incredible levels, materials, soundtracks, stickers, etc. Featuring the Justice League in all their power, this pack has the best levels by far. The story is amazing and the level design is simply peak. Media Molecule really nailed this one. The costumes are spectacular, and overall this DLC introduced revolutionary gameplay. It included the Hero Cape, a power-up with which you could glide, and it included wall jumping mechanic, which definitely made for some of the best community levels to date. I mean, this is by far the best DLC out of all of them. Simply put, it's everything a DLC should have. Anyways, that was all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, consider subscribing because we are very close to 1k subscribers. And with that out of the way, see you all in the next one.